to me, it was fairly clear that they'd moved their daughter from a very high-pressured private school to the local sixth form college, because to improve her chances of applying to Oxford. These parents feel that they're paying for, when they send their kids to certain private schools, is not just an excellent education, it is social capital and access to these kind of institutions. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all.
The Times also has an Oxford student who they're calling Helena, saying, masqueraders, she calls them, they're everywhere. She went on a date with someone and he asks for the third time where I actually went to school. The idea that I'd stayed there for the entire time was met with disbelief. The idea that it's just happening all the time. There's just loads of kids saying, I went to X college. And yeah, but where did you really go for the years before it? I mean, I presume what will happen, and someone has tweeted me to say that what will have to happen is, I imagine that people who are looking into this will have to look at the entire school record rather than just look at the last 2 years before you get to university.
Yeah, I think, well, for me, there's a question of, how much Oxford and Cambridge are actually bothered by this practice if it is happening, because I think you've got to think that there's the institution who feel some pressure to get their statistics more in line with the number of people who actually go to private school. But these people are actually being admitted by, in most cases, 1 or 2 or 3 tutors who, some of them, I imagine, probably really care about finding pupils who deserve it and who would benefit from this opportunity. Others of them will be focused on their research and will be just thinking who are going to be the easiest people to teach. And it may be that if people come along who they suspect have only moved into a state school but have had this very good private education leading up to that, they may think, okay, great, well, I can tick that box and then teach this person who's been very well trained. So yeah, I'd be a little suspicious of this may be actually benefiting Oxford and Cambridge's practice,
because they basically could have their cake and eat it, is what you're saying. I think it's a really good point. You went to Cambridge. I went to Cambridge. I didn't really find a lot of this stuff, a lot of class warfare. Most people I met were kind of nice and normal, and no one talked about backgrounds or anything like that. And then you read stories like this, where this bloke says to Helena, "This probably isn't your thing then, because you went to a state school." Was that your experience of going to university like Cambridge?
I mean, nothing specific like that. I think most people from both state and private schools tended to make friends and create social groups with people from similar backgrounds. But yeah, I think the thing is that I did meet, as most people who went to Oxbridge, you do meet a lot of people who you think, oh, you're very intelligent, and you meet a lot of other people who think, wait, how did you get in? So I think in many cases that was private school pupils who'd been incredibly well trained that I thought that about. So I think, although this may be a bit of a blunt tool, the fact that Oxford and Cambridge are trying to increase their percentages of state school applications, I think it probably is a good thing, because we know that private school pupils are still massively overrepresented in all these sort of quote unquote prestigious careers. So I think, yeah, even if it is a blunt tool, it is a good idea to get those percentages more in line.
Yeah, interesting point.